It's been 48 hours since Kenya booted Cameroon out of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, and as a Cameroonian, I'm still mourning. However, I want to say congratulations to Beldine Udemba and the Harambee Starlets for this milestone achievement. Well, today's video will focus on how Kenya has had or is moving towards becoming a powerhouse nation in women's football on the continent. Hello everybody, welcome to Soccer Vibes Africa, and before we continue watching this video, make sure you like, subscribe, share and leave a comment below. Now let's start. In my research to see how Kenya was able to achieve this, I realized that it's not just about having a powerful woman on the technical bench like Beldine Udemba. We will do a video about that woman some other time, but it's also about the groundworks that the Kenyan Football Federation has been able to set in order to see women's football grow in this East African country. Well, in 2021, the Kenyan Football Federation unveiled its women's development strategy, which centered on key factors. It talked of grassroots development, it talked of youth football, it talked of leagues and competitions, club licenses, national teams, performance centers, capacity building, marketing, and branding. Well, these were the key aspects of Kenya's women's football development strategy. Now, after this strategy was unveiled, a capacity building workshop was organized for women's football administrators, where over 51 women's administrators were in attendance. This capacity building workshop centered on leadership, sponsorship, management, strategic planning, financial planning, project management, marketing and communication, and media management. Looking at this, you would ask me, Landon, how does this relate to them defeating Cameroon? However, let me tell you something. The fact that Kenya was so wise enough to write down or plan a strategy presented to the public, it shows that they see women's football development as a priority, and they will do all it takes to make sure this part of football or this sector grows, which is something we've not seen with other countries on the continent. So it shows you how engaged they are to see that women's football grows. Women's football on the continent need trained actors. Reasons why when that strategy was presented to the public, they decided to, do a capacity building workshop for 51 administrators, and they will be doing more of those in the upcoming years. They will be doing more of those. They know that one important aspect of women's football development is having trained coaches, trained administrators to see that these players are groomed well and they can better develop to compete with other football grades. Reasons why they engaged in that. They knew that in order for Kenya's women's football to develop, they needed continuity. Reasons why they targeted the grassroots. Just recently, the women's football campaign was launched in June of 2023, where we saw different teams participate, teams from schools participate in the different districts, and they also had like a mentorship programs with these kids, with these young footballers or football legends to mentor these young footballers, exposing them to these sports as early as possible. During NABWIRE talked of how they want to ensure continuity to see that the best from these schools can integrate the under 13 category, move up to the under 15 category, go to regional leagues, and why not join the national league? That to show that there is continuity in this squad. Also want to be able to create competitions, give those that are taking part in this competition licenses that would also expose them to continental competitions, all of those, so it can be developed. Now, when I compare this to Cameroon, I asked myself, Celine Eko has been at the helm of the Women's Football League for over a decade now. What are the improvements she has made at the level of the players, at the level of the actors, at the level of the competition? I would say in recent years, we've been one of Africa's greatest teams. We've participated in the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. We've reached the finals. We've reached the Women's World Cup. But we haven't won any trophy. No trophy at all. When I look at the league, I ask myself, why why is it that just a handful of these teams have women as their coaches? I mean, in Africa now, we see a lot of women. I mean, take for example Ghana, their coach is a woman. Take Togo, their coach is a woman. Take South Africa, their coach is a woman. And I ask myself, throughout the years that we've been able to grow football, or we've been top on the continent, we've been led by men. Kudos to them for doing the amazing work. But why not give an opportunity to women to do same? Why not give them a place? A Kenya that defeated Cameroon is being coached by a CAF licensed player, a CAF licensed coach, Beldino Demba. Don't we have other CAF licensed coach that can even start from the junior category and move up to the senior category? Well, those are questions I ask myself after looking at the enormous work put by the Kenya Football Federation.